Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of HBHA Lore. I'm your host, Micah Margulies, and I am absolutely thrilled today for a very special episode that I think you guys will all enjoy because we do not have one guest today. We do not have two guests today, but we are joined by three illustrious, very special HBHA guests. It is three sisters. We have Elana Goldenberg, class of, I believe, 2016. Kayla Goldenberg, class of 2018, and Mirra Goldenberg, 2020. And I think I got all those years right. Elana, Kayla, and Mirra, welcome to HBHA Lore.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. And the first game that guests can play is they can try to determine who is who if they don't know. But luckily, there's some labels in the corner here. Although you may notice that Mirra and Kayla are in a screen together because they're roomies right now, which is wonderful. So this is going to be wonderful to get to talk to all three of you guys, all three Goldenberg sisters. I had the pleasure and joy of teaching all three of you. And so we're going to get a chance to hear what you guys are all up to now and also hear about your guys' experience at HBHA. So Elana, I'm going to start with you. Can you catch us up to speed? You graduated in 2016. That means at the end of this year, you will be celebrating your 10-year reunion, your 10-year graduation from HBHA. So what have you been doing since you graduated 9 years ago?
Yeah, wow, I can't believe it's been that many years.
I'm flying.
Yeah, so I went to undergrad at WashU in St. Louis. I double majored in biology and women, gender, and sexuality studies and was also on the pre-med track. And I graduated from there in 2020. And then I worked for a few years in an eye clinic while taking the MCAT and applying to med school. And now I'm finishing up my fourth year of med school at KU. And right now I'm applying to neurology residencies. I know a lot of people who knew me at HBHA probably thought I was going into pediatrics, but I did a total 180 and discovered adult neurology during med school and decided that that was the best place for me. And I'm really, really excited about it.
What is it about studying neurology, or what experiences did you have that made you decide that's where you wanted to focus your attention?
Yeah, so it kind of caught me by surprise. During second year of med school, we had a block on neuroscience in the brain, and our lecturers were just so excited about everything that they were teaching and made it fun and accessible for us. I know neuroscience can sound really scary to a lot of people, but they made it so approachable and so fun. And what I really liked is that neurological conditions can affect all different parts of the body, and a lot of them really have a big impact on quality of life. So I really liked getting to make a really big impact on people's, day-to-day function and letting them do the things that they want to do. So that was kind of where I made that turn.
Is there any particular, obviously neurology is its own specified field, but is there anything particularly within the field of neurology that really interests you that you hope to kind of focus your career on, whether that's working with Alzheimer's patients or people recovering from a head injury? I don't know. There's any number of things I'm thinking of, but is there anything that really piques your interest, especially that you kind of want to hone in on specifically?
That is such a good question because I get asked that all the time. I'm not totally sure. There's actually so many subfields within neurology, and I'm probably gonna have to explore that a little bit more during my residency training. But right now, if I had to decide, I'd probably be torn between stroke and neuroimmunology, which focuses on multiple sclerosis and other similar conditions.
That is wonderful. Well, Elana, we will circle back and hear more about, especially some of your college experiences. I'm interested in particular about the other major you talked about, that women, gender, and sexuality major, which sounds really interesting. But I'm going to jump over to Kayla now. Hi, Kayla.
Hi.
So get us caught up to speed. So you graduated 2 years after Elana in 2018. And just get us caught up to speed. What has your path been like? What have you been doing since you graduated 7 years ago?
Oh, geez. Okay. So after I graduated from HBHA, I went to the University of Vermont, and I graduated from there in May of 2022. I started off as wanting to get my BSN, which is a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And then very quickly, I realized that path was not right for me. And I decided to pursue education. instead, and I majored in elementary education and minored in special education. And after graduating, I was unsure exactly where I was going to work. And all of a sudden, a job in Denver fell in my lap to teach fourth grade at Denver Jewish Day School.
Oh,
And I moved to Denver within a week of finding out that I got the job. It was kind of a crazy turnaround. But moved to Denver and I've been here ever since. I stopped working at DJDS this past June because oh my gosh, fall of 2024, I decided to get my MSW at the University of Denver, so a master's in social work. And I was doing that part time throughout the year. And then I decided to do that full time this year, which puts me at graduating this upcoming spring, which is really exciting. And I'm kind of on like a child pathway with my MSW. I'm getting a school social work certificate and yeah, just taking a lot of classes at my internship and just busy.
I'm noticing a recurring theme amongst all your interests, which is you want to work with people, right, and help people hands-on, whether that's teaching them in a classroom, helping them outside of a classroom setting. So within, as you're getting that social work degree, are you hoping to work within a school setting? Do you want to work outside of a school setting? Or is there, I know you said working with kids, but do you have kind of in your mind an idea of either the environment or just the type of work that ideally you would love to do?
Yeah, I'd say social work is really cool because you don't necessarily have to have like one full-time job. It can kind of be like a 3 to 4 like side job situation. So I'm looking at doing social work in a school setting, but I'm also looking at doing case management in a hospital, um, and any type of like community care social work as well. But really anything around kiddos is my jam.
Fantastic. And do you have any brief story you want to share from your time teaching fourth grade of either something that was particularly amusing or entertaining, or I teach older kids, middle and high school students, and those can have some wild adventures. But I know that teaching younger kids in fourth grade might have some wild times during your time there.
Yeah, I'd say always the first one that comes to mind that's just really interesting is even at the age of like 9 and 10, which is like the age of fourth graders, they still seek out sensory with their mouth, meaning that they will like eat, thank you. They eat things,
Yeah,
just random things.
sure, why not?
And one day I was like teaching one of my afternoon rotations. All the kids come in, they're like, Miss G, Miss G, Miss G, blah, 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 just threw up all over the floor. And I'm like, oh, okay. Did he go to the nurse? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, fine. Glad the other teacher handled it. Then I get the whole group coming in. They're like, oh my God, Miss G, he ate a poppet and threw it up. And I'm like, a poppet? Like, those like fidget toys?
Yes, I do.
So
Yeah.
he was like chewing on it because, it's a fun thing to chew on. And he was chewing on it during recess. And I think he got distracted and he swallowed it. And then luckily his body knew what to do and got rid of it. But yeah, that's one of the funniest stories that it always comes to mind when people ask.
Yeah, see, HBHA lore can be both entertaining and educational because now we've learned what things we should not consume and put in our bodies. Well, that sounds amazing. That sounds like a great path. And I'm sure the social work will be fantastic. And Mirra, now I come to you. So you graduated most recently in 2020, 5 years ago. And you had the joy of graduating right smack dab in the midst of when the COVID pandemic was starting. And so we can talk a little bit about how that experience went as well when we shift to HBHA chatting. But catch us up to speed. What have you been doing for these past 5 years?
Well, I went to the University of Colorado Boulder for my undergrad. I majored in psychology. I was always kind of interested in something in the medical field. And then I kind of decided more on the nursing path. So I just kind of did a nursing track since they don't actually have a nursing program. And I didn't necessarily want to end up in Kayla's situation having to switch over to something else. So I did that and I got a job as a CNA at a hospital in Boulder and worked there for my sophomore, junior, and senior year. And then graduated and went straight to nursing school at Denver College of Nursing.
Very nice.
And yeah, I've been going to school since that. I graduated in the May and then started school in July. And now I graduate in March.
Oh, like you just started this past July, you're saying? Is it a 1-year program?
No, like 2 Julys.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
So, okay. So you'll be graduating this coming March with your nursing degree. Yes?
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. And do you have a hope of a certain type of population or a certain area that you want to work in? Is it like hospital nursing, out of hospital setting, or are you just kind of up in the air and going to explore different options once you get your degree?
I definitely want to start in the hospital. There's like so many options, and oftentimes a hospital is where you start and then you're there for a little while and you need to switch it up and go somewhere else. So I want to do that. And I'm definitely interested in pediatrics. But I'm pretty sure I want to work in the NICU.
Oh, great. And for people who don't know, can you just briefly explain what the NICU is?
Yes, it's the neonatal intensive care unit. So it's the highest acuity of patients you can get. And they're just right after birth, up until roughly, I think technically it's like a month, but that's not how
it's the new babies that we're working with.
Yeah, but there's plenty of babies that are there for like up to 9 months, and then at some point they get booted to the PICU, which is the pediatric intensive care unit, but hopefully they get discharged before then and don't have to be there for that long.
You want to get them out as quickly as possible and back where they need to be. Well, I'd say between the three of you, we've got a doctor, a nurse, a social worker. You guys have pretty much, the three of you could open your own clinic and basically take care of any kid's needs or an adult's needs, really anything that they need taken care of, and just have the Goldenbergs have people up and running with whatever woes and maladies might befall them. You guys, all three of you, are fairly recently out of college. So before we get to some of the HBHA stuff, I'm also interested in maybe some of the college experiences you might have had, which could be maybe a study abroad program if you did that, or a club you were a part of, or a really interesting class that you did. So Elana, I want to go back to you. Anything you can share about your college experience? It could be really anything there, an interesting story or something that happened to you, or just something that you might have studied that was really interesting to you during your time there.
Yeah, I think probably the most interesting class I did, there was this service learning class I did through the Women, Gender, and Sexuality Studies department. I don't really remember what it was called or a lot. It's been a while. But basically with the class, we partnered with, I guess I'll back up a little bit. One of the interesting things about this class is that it's only offered like once every 2 years, and it's something you have to go like to an internship site off campus. Um, and they weren't going to have the class that semester. I was the only person that signed up. And I like begged the professor to like, please let me take the class. I'm really interested in this class. A friend of mine had taken it the year before, or maybe the year before that, and had had a really good experience. So the professor let me take the class and basically take it as an independent study. So I basically interned like 1 or 2 days a week at this girls empowerment organization called Girls in the Know in St. Louis. And I helped them just like with any tasks they had, whether it was data collection or helping with event planning. They held a lot of events in the community for girls. I want to say like late elementary school, early middle school, just like things about like growing up and friendships and puberty and just like really anything you could imagine that um, a girl aged maybe like 9 to 12 might be dealing with that might not be covered in the school curriculum, but like an outside of school type of thing. So we did like after school program type things with them and helping them find like a safe adult in their life that they can talk to also was a really big part of that curriculum. So I was an intern there for a semester, and then also did like weekly meetings with this professor in that department. And one of the most interesting things, after this really great experience, which was awesome, was afterwards she was like, "So do you want to do the full major?" I was like, "Oh no, I don't have time for that. Like I'm pre-med, I'm majoring in biology. Like I don't have time to do this." She
You
goes,
major in biology in your sleep, Elana.
yeah, no, she was like, no, really, like you have time to do this. Like you've already done this many classes. I had done some other classes. I had done like the intro class and I had done like some of the other classes in that department. She's like, no, really, like you only need to take this many more classes. Like you should just do it. And like I teach all these classes. Like they're really interesting. Like you should take my classes. So I kept taking all of this professor's classes and some other interesting required ones as well. And it was just so interesting going to these classes that were so different from my biology and chemistry and physics classes. I really, really enjoyed them. They were very, very challenging and very challenging, I think, in a different way than a lot of the science classes. I think the most difficult class I took was called Queer Theory, and the readings were just so dense that half the time I didn't really know what they were talking about. But we watched a lot of movies in that class, which was really fun. A lot of discussions, but definitely we were required to take one theory class for the major, and that was the one that everyone recommended. And it was probably one of my most challenging classes of undergrad. I'd say like possibly more challenging than physics, which I did not do well in at all.
I'm sure you did great. But that sounds fantastic, and it's a great way, like you said, to work your brain in a very different way than you're
Yeah.
doing in the hard science classes that you were spending most of your time doing.
Yeah.
Kayla, how about you? When in your time at the University of Vermont, I assume Vermont's mascot is the Vermont Pancakes. Is that accurate?
No, it's the catamount. It's a mountain cougar.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds fantastic. I might have to look up what that looks like. So during your time at Vermont, any particular highlights that you want to share?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
We were trying to brainstorm.
Yeah, there's a
Like
lot.
brainstorming. Yeah, I know. College flies by quickly. Sometimes I'm like, was I really at KU for 4 years? And if I include my time getting my master's degree there for 6 years, I'm like, it seems like it was 20 minutes. But yet, it happened. Was there maybe a particular class that you really enjoyed, or something on campus that you ended up getting involved in that you really enjoyed participating in during your time there?
Yeah, I would say all my close friends from college would say that I kept myself very busy, more busy than the average person. I think my senior year, at one point, I had like 5 different part-time jobs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
What
don't
was the
know.
best one?
The best one, that's a tie. Okay, so I worked part-time as a substitute preschool teacher at the local YMCA, now called the Y, like how the JCC is now the J.
You got to shorten those acronyms.
Exactly, or
Acronym
people
is
just
not
won't
short enough.
go.
It's got to just be the Y.
Yeah, the Y. And so I would just hang out with these like I usually worked with like the 2 and 3 year olds, and it was just like fun hanging out with them and reading books and singing songs and helping them take a nap. And we'd go on walks downtown and they would just like wave at random people, or we'd go walk across UVM campus because we were like right there. And then my other favorite job, I worked at the Davis Center, which was our big student center. And I worked at the information desk. So I would give people directions on campus. And also every tour that goes through UVM, they go through the Davis Center. And so like I would run into tour groups, and oftentimes the families that were like at the end of like the tour group, like they're just leisurely taking their time, they're doing their own thing. They would come up to the desk and they'd be like, so like we want to ditch the tour. What should we do? And so I would like point them to something that wasn't on the tour, because the campus, I don't know.
Kayla's version.
My version, yes. Well, the campus tour guides wouldn't hire me. That's how I ended up in this job.
Right. You give the real tour.
Yeah, the unedited tour. And so I would always tell them to go to this place called Redstone Campus, which was like off of the regular tour because it was kind of further away, because UVM campus is like 4 campuses all like stretched across a hill. And so Redstone was one of the furthest ones. And so I'd send them there, because when I went with my dad, we kind of like ditched the tour at the end and just asked some random person, where should we go? And they're like, oh, go to Redstone. And we're like, what does that mean? They're like, just go there. You'll figure it out. So like walking, and we're just like, I don't really know like what we're looking at. We're just walking towards these dorms. And then we like turn around and we see the whole like mountain line like behind us. And we're like, oh my God, like it's crazy. It's so one of like the prettiest views in the world, in my opinion. And that was like the spot where I decided I wanted to go to UVM. And so that's where I would send people when they're like, we need to get off the tour. I'm like, oh, go there.
Wonderful. Did you see any, what are they called? Catamounts, whatever it was that you said, out in the wild?
I believe catamounts are extinct.
Oh no, my bad. I should have done my background research.
Oh no, that's okay. It's okay.
You're bringing, you know what? They're not extinct at the University of Vermont, because you guys are all little, whatever the word is,
catamounts.
All right, Mirra.
She's leaving it. Hold on. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I do. She's leaving out the most important thing about UVM, which is it's really more about Burlington, the town that it's in. But they have these soft serve ice creams called maple creamies, and it's like soft serve maple. It's maple soft serve. It's like the best soft serve I've ever had in my whole life. So Kayla's being too modest, but I'll put in a plug for them because I had them multiple times when I visited. They're 10 out of 10.
Oh my goodness.
More than 10 out of 10.
Are you saying this is like maple syrup flavored ice cream?
Yes. Yes.
Kayla, you should have led with that.
Oh.
I'm glad you did interrupt to correct that egregious error that we were about to overlook. I thought you were about to interrupt to give us some factoid about this extinct animal and be like, no, they're only endangered. The maple ice cream is more important and more delicious.
No, I didn't know that catamounts were a real animal until just now.
I'm just hoping I'm pronouncing it right as I'm saying it, but maybe you know what? Maybe I'll use my video editing skills and toss a picture of a catamount into this while Kayla's talking. Maybe I'll Photoshop it over her face, so it's just a catamount.
Oh, yeah, I'll be
every
like
time
a talking catamount.
we just see the catamount Kayla instead. All right, Mirra. During your time at UC Boulder, any highlights that you wanna share during your recent tenure?
No.
You had 2 sisters worth of time to think about it.
Well, I don't know necessarily like highlights.
It could be a low light.
College was like a very interesting time, starting right at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah, so tell us about it, if you or you could highlight something else. But if there was something that was just kind of, obviously that's a very different experience than most people have, except for the select few classes that were finishing high school and starting college right at the height of COVID. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was honestly really hard.
Yeah.
And going to a new place, out of state, and then it was really hard to actually interact with people. We had to wear masks outside, inside. We had to eat in our dorms. We were getting tested constantly. Our classes were all on Zoom. And,
really challenging way to start college.
Now having classes on Zoom is a dream for some people, but no, not for me.
How, once some of those restrictions went away, how did you feel like it, did it feel like a breath of fresh air? I mean, so to speak, but like where you were able to like interacting with people? Like, how did you feel like it evolved over the course of your time there? Just in terms of your experience.
I wouldn't say it was like a big shift for me because I think I missed out on the beginning, like freshman year when they have all the things for or that I've heard of that I didn't have, where you get the opportunity to really meet people and like be really social. So I think it was hard to like get that experience later on, but since I worked at Sprouts for a little bit, and
Did
that was right.
Maple ice cream?
Hmm?
Did they import the maple ice cream from Vermont?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's some Sprouts or some Vermont labeled ice cream there because they would. But and then working at the hospital, that was kind of like the highlight of my like social experience.
Yeah,
In
sometimes
college,
working can be a great way to meet people that you might not have had the chance to because of the way that, you know, the starting college during the height of COVID can impact that. I mean, that makes perfect sense. And I'm sure that really all the people who were graduating around the same time as you had a similar experience in a lot of ways, which is hard. But I'm glad that you were able to, you know, through work and other opportunities, get that social experience. You know, that's really important. Before we pivot to some HBHA stuff, I want to take advantage of the fact that, you know, I've got three guests who grew up in a house together and know each other very well. I would be remiss if I didn't hear maybe some Goldenberg family lore, right?
So growing up, we had we were two dog family, very important to us. A dog needs a friend. And we got our dog Lady, oh God, in like 2012, no, 2010. And before Lady, we had a dog named Molly. And Molly was a Cavalier. And I think it was in like 2014, I believe, like in the fall. And you know, our dog Molly, she like wasn't doing that great. She was hanging in there, but she was kind of on her way to a better place. And so
I think I know where this is.
One morning
Sorry, it's like not funny, but it's
okay.
I think it's hilarious.
No, it gets funny. No, it gets funny.
Let Micah judge for himself.
Any dog story is good. And you know what? I had a dog named Molly when I was growing up too. So there's a connection.
Oh
there.
my gosh, how
Different
fun.
Mollies. Keep going, Kayla.
So, you know, we're getting ready for school that morning. I'm in 9th grade, Mirra's in 7th grade, Elana's in 11th grade. And it was like pajama day. And I remember this like vividly. So like I'm putting on like my fresh pair of pajamas because I can't go to school in like what I slept in. Like, how dare I?
Change into the pajamas. That's right.
Exactly. And my mom comes into my room and she's like, Kayla, I think Molly's gonna go. And I'm like, you're being dramatic. She's fine. It's just like, no, you're gonna regret it. And I'm like, no, it's fine. You're being dramatic. She's fine. And so I'm like, what is going on? This is ridiculous. So at this point, we would take 2 cars to school. Elana and I would drive to school a touch later because our mom worked at school and she had to be there early. And Mirra would go with our mom. So
because I liked to.
She liked to. So Mirra and our mom, they left, they went to school. And then I come downstairs and my dad goes, well, she didn't wait for you. And I go, what? And he goes, Molly, she didn't wait for you. And I'm like,
my goodness.
What? And she had died. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, and like before that, I didn't even know.
But I had come downstairs and she's like laying on the floor, like choking on her fluids and like dying.
But what? Sorry, we're.
That's okay.
You might just bleep that part out.
Maybe, whatever. So
she was
yeah. So Mirra and my mom, they were there. They go to school. They're in disarray. I'm downstairs now, and I'm just like. And then Elana comes downstairs. My dad says a very similar thing to her. We drive to school. Elana and I like take a deep breath. We get there. We're like, okay. All right, we're going to have a fine day. It'll be fine. There were teachers that knew it happened. They were giving us hugs like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And then I remember I like sat down in the locker bay and I was like, guys, my dog died this morning. But then Elana, since everyone processes
I
grief,
can tell my part of
I'm
the
gonna
story.
have you take
This
over.
is
Everyone
actually really
processes
funny.
grief in a really different way.
And
And
that's
Elana
okay.
Goldenberg, she processes it in a very unique way.
Okay.
So I didn't tell anyone that my dog died. I didn't feel like they needed to know, and I didn't really know how to tell them.
Keep it to yourself.
So I get to like seventh or eighth period, whatever class AP English was. And the best part is this was Claire Reagan's first day of maternity leave. So we had a sub that day. Fresh sub. This was her first day. This was gonna be our long-term sub. And we had one of those English quizzes, and anyone who took AP English in my era of AP English, no, I think it was I want to say it was AP Lang because yeah, it was definitely AP Lang because it was like there was like the words on the top and the sentence. It was the vocab. It was the vocab quiz. Wow, I'm losing my marbles.
Okay.
And we're like partway through the vocab quiz, and I guess I just like wasn't behaving during the quiz, and everyone's like, Ilana, like be quiet, like behave, and I'm like, sorry guys, my dog died today, and everyone was like, I don't know what to do, and anyway, it's a really funny, honestly, memory that me and my friends look back on.
You know what? We all process our grief differently, and sometimes we have an outburst during a vocab quiz. And I know from my experience knowing and teaching you, you're usually pretty well under control in the classroom.
Yeah.
If you were having an outburst, that's why your classmates, they were worried about you. They weren't protecting you. They were like, what is going on? Why is Elana shouting during a vocab quiz?
Yes, exactly.
Wow. You know what, Kayla, when you started that story, I didn't know where it was going to begin with. But you know what? We all love our dogs, and I hope that Molly is in a better place. And Lady, if she has passed, is Lady still around?
Lady's in a better place too.
And she left.
And
You know what? We love our canine companions. My beloved dog Sissy passed away this past summer, but you know we have our wonderful memories with our furry friends. They're the best.
Yeah.
Okay, from there. We're gonna started talking about HBHA from there, but you know what? It wasn't the segue I was expecting, but it's the one that I'm ready to roll with.
That was a funny story though, Kayla. That was a good call.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't know where it was going with the dogs, but I'm glad that we got to reflect on your time with Molly and Lady, who sound like wonderful, wonderful pets. So you guys all, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe all of you were K through 12 HBHA lifers. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, and our dad is also a lifer.
Okay, wow. That's 52 years amongst the four of you. Plus, as you said, your mom worked there. So we're talking like pushing maybe 60 plus years of Goldenberg service to HBHA. We should maybe call this podcast Goldenberg Lore, to be honest. Yeah. With the time.
I don't know if anyone would listen to it.
I think they're listening to it right now, and I think they're loving the experience. So that's a lot of time at HBHA. So we're gonna hit some of the highlights here. And Mirra, I'm gonna start with you. We're gonna mix it up. We don't have to go oldest to youngest. We can go in all sorts of order. That's a lot of time there. But just kind of now that you're several years removed from your time at HBHA, any particular memories? It could be something with your class. It could be a trip you guys went on. It could be a particular class you had. It could be a big moment or a small moment that just if someone you didn't know, they're asking like, hey, what happened to you at HBHA? What did you do? What can you tell us about your time at HBHA?
Well,
yeah, you and Kayla were, for people who are listening to the audio only and missing out on the video, they're communicating in some sort of sisterly silent roommate communication here. But Mirra, what do you got for us?
Well, I was debating telling this, but I have yet to talk about it with you specifically.
Oh, am I involved in this story?
Yes, you are. You're in the story.
There's nothing. This is like the pinnacle of what HBHA lore is about. This is like meta lore, where it's not just about HBHA, but it's about me, myself. I can't wait, and I will roll with whatever punch you throw my way.
Okay. Well, knowing me, you probably forgot about it, and it's haunted me all this time. But
oh gosh, I can't wait. And I'm also a little scared. I'm a little scared, but I'm ready.
It's okay.
No. So this was whatever year I was taking pre-cal.
This was your sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
That's right. Yeah.
I wasn't feeling well this day.
Okay.
And we get through the morning and then we have mentoring, and it's coincidentally it's the day that we have that officer on. That left me feeling not great, but then I continued to decline throughout the day, and I get to pre-calc and we're taking a quiz or something, and oh no, wait, was it pre-calc?
No, it was.
It was.
Because
Oh,
his friend.
right. Pre-calc was in your room and Mr. B was teaching.
Oh, Mr. Ballman, Brian Ballman. I hope you're listening, Mr. Ballman.
Yeah. I wonder if he remembers too. And in the middle of it, I started to feel really sick, and I ran to the back of the room and threw up in the trash can.
Oh,
and then, because that had never happened to me before, it'd probably been years since I had thrown up, I just, went to the bathroom and was like, well, what do I do now? And I went back to class and finished my quiz because I was feeling better. And then the day was over and we were all kind of filing out, and you and me were walking out at the same time.
Okay.
And then I projectile vomited in the trash can with you standing right next to me. And I just remember you standing there and being like, oh, take your time.
So I didn't even react. I wasn't even phased. I was just like, you know what? I think I would remember this, but I have no recollection of this. I must have mentally blacked it out of.
It was that bad.
Oh my goodness! And so you're saying I kind of downplayed it. I was just like, okay, that's what we're doing today. We're just projectile vomiting in trash cans. We're leaving the class.
Yeah, you told me to take my time, and that was it.
Good. Okay, I was worried the story would reflect poorly on me. I handled myself well in this situation, don't you?
It could have been much worse. It could have been on you.
Well, I'm glad it could have been worse for me. It could have been on me. And you know what? Pre-calc's tough. Sometimes we all get a little sick while doing some math.
I actually really liked pre-calc, but
that day. Mr. Ballman was the best. That sounds like a rough day, but it is certainly a memorable story. All right, Kayla, what do you have for us when you're thinking about your time at HBHA? It doesn't have to involve being nauseous. It could just be anything. It could be a moment or experience with your class, something that happened to you personally, but something that you recall as a highlight of your time at HBHA.
Oh my.
I know.
A highlight of my HBHA.
There's so many to comb through in your memory. It's like hard to know where.
I know. Honestly, I'm gonna talk about my favorite class I ever took at HBHA.
I would love to hear that.
It was a class that you taught.
Wow, I didn't know I was going to be so prominently involved with your own lore, but I'd love to hear it.
Well, it's the
you were a big part of HBHA.
Yeah.
I mean, you still are. I don't know why I said word.
That's right. I'm still there.
Our HBHA.
That's right.
Yes.
All right, Kayla, what's
it was film literature.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I talk about this book all the time, The Collector.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like Elana was in the class too.
yeah, I was in the class too.
It was for those of you listening that have never read this book, because I'm not sure why people would seek out this book on their own, but that's all right.
Yeah.
But the premise of the class was that we would read a book and then watch the movie that it was based on, which actually inspired a lot of the books that I taught to my fourth graders, because we would do a film analysis after, and it would make them all really motivated to read the book. So thank you for the inspiration.
Oh my goodness. Nothing could make me more pleased. Although I assume you did not read The Collector with them.
No, we did not.
Oh.
Our big film analysis was always with The Tale of Despero.
You know what? I've never read it or watched it, but maybe I'll be inspired to by you.
It's a solid book. I feel like I need something with a bit more like symbolism going on there and like metaphors.
Okay.
I feel like that was always
for your
forte. But The Collector was about this man that in the book, I remember he was portrayed as like really like socially awkward, like kind of an outcast or like a recluse. Like he wasn't like bullied or anything, but just like kind of a weird hermit.
Yeah.
And he really had a big crush on this gal, and instead of talking to her and like asking her what her name is and all about her, he decided to take like a cotton round and like soak it in chlorophyll, and that's when I learned what chlorophyll is. And he,
I think you mean chloroform.
thank you, that one.
Yeah, chlorophyll comes from plants. But Elana was ready to hop in with another one of her patented corrections.
I was thinking of some song that like chlorophyll and chloroform are used.
Okay, well,
But
Yeah.
Mr. Welton, it was something. Never mind.
But the short version is
chloroform.
kidnap a
Basically,
woman.
he kidnaps this woman and like collects her in his basement. He also collected butterflies, but I remember the movie was, I think it was like made in like the 80s, possibly.
I think even a little earlier, maybe the 60s or 70s. It's a fairly old movie. I can look it up.
Yeah, it was really old, but I just remember I was like just fascinated with this book. And also I remember I read it during Yom Kippur services at synagogue. So it kept me very entertained.
Okay, and that's my goal, to keep you entertained during Yom Kippur services at synagogue. Well, I'm glad that you liked the class. I love that class. And you know what? I've actually, so that's like you said, an elective that I taught called literature and film, and you described it well. I've expanded that. I now have 4 different film electives that I've taught. And on rotation, so that people who like, because I love movies, so I've had students who have taken all 4 of them. And so each one's own different focus and different curriculum. So it's been great. I'm glad that you loved that class. I mean, that's awesome to hear.
It was an awesome class. And we also read Into the Wild. And that was when Elana and I discovered that, and we found this in our dad's college yearbook, because Chris McCandless, the main character in Into the Wild, he went to university. He went to Emory University at the same time as our dad, and they were on the track team together.
Wow, that is wild. Into the Wild. For people who don't know the book Into the Wild, it's a true story about this guy named Christopher McCandless, who, when he graduated from Emory University, this was in like the early 90s, he decided to sell all his possessions and basically wander the country, especially focusing on like natural, beautiful areas and just relying on the kindness of strangers with no money in his pocket. And then he eventually found his way into the Alaskan wilderness, where he decided to live on his own for a while. And he sadly died by accidentally eating poisoned berries. And the book is not written by him. The book is written by a journalist who's basically tracking what happened to him and where he went. It's a great book and a really good movie. Anyone wants to check it out. Okay, Elana, what HBHA lore story do you have for us that may or may not involve me? It's not required. Yeah. You don't have to throw up on me. It doesn't have to be one of my classes, but I can play any or no role that you want in your tale that you want to share.
Ooh, okay. I don't know if it's a story, but I think one of my favorite HBHA memories was when we had so I was on Stuco, and I really loved when we got to make the latkes for latke lunch. Like half of my class would get pulled away from whatever our classes were that morning, and we'd go down to the kitchen at the JCC and we'd cook everything, and we'd go out to Walmart and get more things if we needed it, or maybe it was pizza lunch and we'd be making pizzas for the whole school, or hot dog lunch, any of those lunches. It was just so fun getting to be together and then getting to serve these meals to the rest of the school, and just getting to see all the little kids that we'd see at families every week.
But you neglected to say the most important thing. You got to bring a change of clothes on latke lunch.
Oh my gosh! So especially
hot oil the entire day.
Especially latke lunch. So latke lunch also often coincided with the basketball home opener. I don't know how it happened, but every year without fail, and
we'd play basketball on a full stomach of fried potatoes.
Oh, it was so rough every year. And in the early years, it wasn't so bad because I mostly sat on the bench freshman, sophomore year. But junior, senior year, when I was actually playing, it was like having to go to the game after you had been in the kitchen the entire day cooking latkes. And even if you completely changed clothes, you still smelled like latkes. Oh,
that's sweaty latke.
I don't miss that.
Yeah. Well, latkes are so important. I don't know if this was still around when you guys were there. When I was a student, we used to sing a song in lower school choir with Mrs. Lerner called "I Am a Latke."
Oh, we're related to Mrs. Lerner. Did you know that?
No, this is what the podcast is all about. these unexpected connections. How are you related to Deborah Lerner?
Her husband is her husband
First
Nana's
cousin.
first cousin, our
Yeah.
mom's first cousin.
Amazing. Wow. We really wove that strand together. For people who don't know, Deborah Lerner, she taught music at HBHA for many, many years. When I was there and I graduated in 2008, she was the music teacher for pretty much, I think, my entire time there. And then even when I went back to start teaching, she was working there in, I think, a part-time role. So she had a huge impact, and we definitely sang I Am a Latka, which you then embodied in Stuco when you guys became the Latkas. Elana, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say your role on Stuco was you were treasurer. Am I correct?
Yeah, I was treasurer. Yeah,
You can be a little impressed with that poll, aren't you?
I think I was the one who got us started selling donuts in addition to bagels.
Oh,
And I think probably by the time Mirra was treasurer, because I think we were all treasurer at one point, I
we
think it
were.
probably was like mostly transitioned over to like only donuts.
No, it was both.
Oh, it was both. Okay, good.
No,
When
we're
that-
still on both. But Elana, that means for any students who are currently attending HBHA who are listening, you can thank Elana for bringing you donuts in the morning. Not literally bringing you donuts, for bringing donuts into your life. Well, I didn't realize we had a whole family of treasurers here. I would say the Mount Rushmore
We are treasurers.
treasurers in the United
Yes.
States are Alexander Hamilton, and then Elana, Kayla, and Mirra Goldenberg.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Well,
that's so
and
nice.
I was basically treasurer for all of the years because
Oh yeah.
I went with them.
Oh, you were the treasurer apprentice beforehand. It was in your blood. You were the natural heir to the throne. Mirra, you also neglected to mention that another thing we did together was the play. You were involved in the play during your junior and senior year. Senior year, we were sadly robbed of the experience of doing The Man Who Came to Dinner on stage, and that was going to be a fantastic play that we were rehearsing. We had to, and then the play was scheduled for about a month after the school shut down for COVID. We had to pivot to The Man Who Zoomed to Dinner.
That was something.
It was something. But it would have been amazing on stage, and we did what we could with it on Zoom. But you were also in the play your junior year, Almost Maine, which was basically a series of vignettes that all were kind of like these whimsical stories about people falling in love in this fictional town called Almost, was the name of the town in the state of Maine. And so it was all like these wintry romance stories. All of them had like a touch of fantasy to them. You were in a scene with your good friend Ayelet Schuster called, I believe the scene was called They Fell. Anyway, Mirra, do you want to just share kind of your experience and why you decided to do theater? I like that you decided to join it later in your HBHA career. A lot of people start off freshman or sophomore year, but what made you junior year decide to be like, it's time, I want to do some acting here? And how did that experience go for you?
Honestly, I don't remember why I decided to. It always looked fun, and I did it in middle school, and I must have just been like, well, I've done everything else at HBHA, I might as well do the play also. And I mean, another class with Mr. Margulies, I definitely want to do that. And
did you find the experience scary or fun, or how would you, that was you looking at it beforehand, once you were actually doing it, how did you feel it went for you?
It was super fun. And I think with the style of that play, it was interesting because I just wanted to be like rehearsing Ayelet and my scene like every day, just because it was fun to do. But it was kind of like rotating when we were practicing. But we had a great time. Ours was definitely the best.
It was great. I loved that. I loved your scene. And the nice thing about that play is it gave each person their own like 15-minute segment to shine, right? Where it was just like the two people, most of the scenes were between two characters. It was great. I'll see if I think I've got an Almost Maine video somewhere in my archives. Maybe I can pull a quick little excerpt and if I can find it and shoehorn it in here.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. Elana, you mentioned briefly the thing about playing basketball. I recall you being quite the HBHA athlete. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like you got like 14 varsity letters or something insane between basketball, soccer, and cross country. Am I wrong, or is that
so it's technically 12, but my dad likes to say that I'm the most decorated HBHA athlete. Because I got
Yeah,
the max.
I remembered. And
Okay, yeah, the max. I played soccer, basketball, and cross country, and I lettered all 4 years in all of them. I don't know if anyone's done that. Someone's had to have done it since, I'm sure.
were you around for any of the time when we had like HBHA tennis? Not you wanted to maybe snag a fourth sport in there?
Oh, no, I did not play tennis.
Any particular memory that stands out to you from any across those three sports that you played?
Yes. Cross country, we had this one meet. This was like one of the years the Royals went to the World Series, and the game we were running the same at Swope Park the same day that the Royals got postponed or something to another day because the weather was so bad. Our meet did not get postponed, so we ran in this like awful cold rain.
It's a great picture of our team on that day.
Yeah, there's a picture. It floats around Facebook like every year around that time because it like shows you the memory. But it was very, very, very cold that day. But we had some trophy. There's some picture of me and Lindsay Paul and Lainey Case of holding a trophy, I'm pretty sure. I think that was I want to say it was my junior year, maybe senior year.
Yeah, that's the right time for one of the Royals World Series runs. Yeah, the Royals, they might be too wimpy to be able to handle the cold, but it's not going to stop you guys from running.
Yeah.
Mr. Power says we're going, so we go.
That's right. I think, Elana, that you should have shown up to this recording wearing 12 medals for each. I
actually have all my medals. Oh, and actually all my letters. I wonder if I can. It's my laptop. So this is not my childhood bedroom, but this is my bedroom at the house where my dad lives now because we don't live in that house anymore. But I still have my letters and my let's see.
Oh, here we go. Alana's taking us on the move.
Can you see it? You can see all my medals and then that box.
Oh, hanging on the mirror over there.
That shadow box that's not a mirror. That's that's my letter.
Oh, incredible.
With all the things.
Yeah, and I see them dangling there. Perfect. Yeah. There's the proof in case anyone doubted the veracity of your athletic prowess.
Yeah. Not very athletic now, but you
I
got a lot of life lessons from being on a team and all those good things.
All right, this is incredible. Those are all fantastic stories. Anyone have, before we shift to the last part of our episode here, those were all like high school memories, but you guys have been there since kindergarten. Anything that jumps out at you from your earlier days in lower or middle school, a memory you want to share?
Oh, yes.
Kayla's ready. She's ready. What do you got?
So even though Elana and I never participated in the play, in the lower school, we were always involved in some sort of production. There was the critically acclaimed Civil War play, also known as The Memories of the Blue and the Gray, which are songs that we still know to this day.
And
if you look on YouTube, you can find my class, little snippets from each song that they put together.
So yes.
So still there.
That was a production that we were in. Another production, which they still have not done again to this day. When I was in third grade.
Because it can't be topped. That's why.
What?
Because it can't be topped.
Oh, I guess not. Yeah. But when I was in third grade, it was second, third, fourth, and fifth grade. We all were required to be in a production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, where our previous head of school, Mr. Howard Haas, he played Pharaoh in it. And
I realize I can just cast myself in these plays. Mr. Haas has just tossed himself in.
Yeah. And then different people like played Joseph at different times. And I played Joseph at one time. And during the Parsha, I forget what Parsha it is, but it's like sometime at the end of November, early December, it rolls around on the calendar. And my dad, our daddy reads Torah every single week at KI Synagogue. And whenever that Parsha pops up, he always gives me a call and he's like, Kayla, this is your week when you sang the song about the dream that he had about having a famine in the land.
Are you talking about like Pharaoh song? The like, when I was walking around.
No,
No,
it's
no.
right after that.
Oh, okay,
To
yeah.
give everyone a little
Oh,
taste.
oh no. I haven't warmed up properly.
Oh, well, you've had so many years to prepare. Wow, I gotta track down this video of Mr. Haas singing Pharaoh's song. I
I
wonder.
have it. I'll email it to you.
Joseph, we are the perfect team. All playing next you and me. I was wise to grow to do Joseph. You'll be wise to agree.
Joseph, how can we ever say all that we want to about you? We're so glad that you came our way. We would have perished without you. We were in a jam, would have baffled Abraham. But now that we're a partnership, it's just a piece of cake. Greatest sentence no one only goes to show up. Anyone from anywhere can make it if they get a look at me. To be a happy ending, perfect place to stop.
Oh my goodness! See, this is good. I'm gonna have to do some video editing for this one because these are some great tales that we're sharing. That's one of the best songs in the whole show. Do you still remember the colors of the Dreamcoat in order?
Oh no, I remember.
I
Do you
do.
remember?
I for sure do.
Oh, yeah, but everyone's too ashamed to say it. But
Yeah.
I know it's still brown.
I mean, I don't need to sing it. You
I know
all
it ends in blue.
the actual like movie musical whatever they did with Donny Osmond is like free on YouTube, so people can go watch it.
wow,
We don't have to sing
Oh,
it.
but why would they want to watch that?
yeah,
But they
no,
can
I would
watch
rather-
this.
I would rather watch. Kayla, are you saying you have a video of this entire production?
I do. So a few years ago, so we have it on DVD because back when DVDs were a thing, and
Right, it's on a VHS.
no, it's on a DVD. And I had an old MacBook that had the disc jack, and so no, it's called the disc jack,
Oh,
isn't
never
it?
mind.
Whatever. Put it in, and I downloaded onto Google Drive, and I sent it to the class of 2018, so they all have it. But I have it, and I can share it with you,
Please.
and we can share it with the world.
I
Give
think
it the
you know what?
premiere it deserves.
He looks smart. He has a walking work of art. Such a dazzling coat of many colors. How he loved his coat of many colors. It was red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn and lilac and gold and chocolate and mauve and green and crimson and silver and gold and azure and lead and russet and gray and purple and white and pink and orange and blue.
I don't think that we're even going to air this episode. When it airs, it's just going to be the uncut version of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat with no explanation. It'll just be that for an hour, and people will just burst into spontaneous applause.
Well, and circling back to Deborah Lerner, she directed the whole thing, and I believe we did every single song in the movie.
Yeah, I think we did every single one.
Wow, that
In
is
my Jewish
very
days,
ambitious.
we did Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat last year, and they didn't even do all the songs.
So was
we
this?
had dances to like there's choreography too.
Oh yes,
Like it wasn't like every year for Thanksgiving-ish, we had that time of year we had like some sort of production. It was more just like like a bunch of different songs that we would do and maybe some speaking parts, but this was like a
full
music.
on, like Broadway.
Wow, I cannot wait to watch it and to share snippets of it with the world. Mirra, were you not a part of this illustrious production? Were you too young?
I was in the audience.
You were.
yeah.
You know what?
She's in the video though.
There's
You
no
can see her.
without an artist, there's no show. That is amazing. I'm glad that you shared that. That is the perfect lower. Was that when you were in lower school, Kayla?
Yeah, it was fall of 2008, so you just missed it.
Oh yeah, I should have come back in from KU. I was a freshman at KU. I'm surprised I didn't like rush down K10 to
I
see
know.
it.
I know. Your invitation must have just gotten lost in the mail.
That's a bummer. That's a bummer. But you know what? It lives on your DVD player and now on your Google Drive. All right. These are fantastic HBHA memories, and this is what we're here for. We are going to wrap up here, unless anyone has another one last lower school or middle school memory they want to share. That just they would be like, we can't conclude the podcast without reminiscing about this. It's tough to top Joseph, but Mirra, you got one for us?
No, I don't. I was just thinking there's got to be something, and I feel like we've barely scratched the surface.
I know.
We could spend hours here.
That's the sequel episode.
We'll just have to come back.
That's right. So, but I thought, since I have this rare opportunity where I don't have one guest, but three guests who know each other very well as they grew up in a household together, that we could play a little game. It's going to be our own little version of the Newlywed Game, which I'm going to call Better Know a Sister. So here's how it's going to work. I asked you guys to bring a piece of paper and something to write with. Mirra and Kayla, you guys are going to need to use the honor system since I didn't realize you would be sitting right next to each other. So no peeking.
I write really small so she won't see it.
Oh, yes. For people who don't know and have not had the joy of teaching Mirra before, which I have, she has impeccable handwriting, and it's incredibly tiny. It looks like these tiny, perfectly printed letters. Elana, I have a pretty vivid memory of your handwriting, too, which I would describe as, appropriate for someone on the path of becoming a doctor.
Don't worry, it's more appropriate for a doctor's handwriting now. It's gotten much more.
Kayla, I have a decent memory of your handwriting too. I'm thinking like kind of loopy letters. Does that sound right? Am I on the right track?
I like to mix cursive and print together.
Yeah, see, this is good. This should be my quiz. Can I recognize? I could definitely tell each of your three handwritings. But here's how it's going to work. I've just got three questions for you guys, and you're going to write down your own answers without speaking on the other people's answers. And then you guys are going to predict your sister's answers and see who knows their sister super well. All right. So your first question for you guys is, and you're just writing your own response to it. Okay. Your first question is, let me pull it up here. What is your favorite school subject? What is your favorite school subject? So write that down. Right? Don't share it. Don't say it out loud. Just write down. Yeah. So Kayla, you will write down your favorite school subject. Elana, you will write down your favorite. And Mirra, you will write down your favorite without peeking. All right. Now we're going to move on to.
Wait, I haven't written it yet.
Oh, okay. While you're thinking it over, though, I'll fill the dead space.
Okay.
I'll ask the second question. Second question underneath that, write down. What is your dream vacation destination of somewhere you have not been before? So if you could go anywhere in the world that you have not been, where would you like to go? You could go big by just naming a country. You can name a specific site that you would love to see. Your dream vacation destination. All right. So that's question 2. Okay. Then the last question we've got here, write down your answer to, if you had a completely different career than the career field that you are going into, what would be your dream career if anything was on the table, but an alternate reality where you didn't become a social worker or a nurse or a neurologist? What would your alternative career path be? Okay. Yeah. I see them all mulling it over while they're giving a chance to think about that. Let me address the viewers and the listeners for a second and say, if you're enjoying this episode and you have a good idea of a potential podcast guest, or maybe you're interested yourself in being a guest on HBHA Lore and you're connected to HBHA as a former student or a former faculty member or connected to HBHA through some other way, feel free to send me an email at mmargulies, MMARGOLIES @hbha.edu. I'd love to hear from you and love to get you or your suggested guest on the air. All right, Kayla, Elana, and Mirra, you guys ready?
Yeah.
And we just needed our own answers.
You're just writing your own answer. We'll share aloud and then we'll see your guesses and then we'll match. All right. Kayla, you're going to be our first one on the spot, okay?
Cool.
So, Kayla, don't say your answer.
I won't.
I'm going to go to you first. Mirra, what is your prediction? What did Kayla write for her favorite school subject? And Kayla, don't say whether she's right or wrong. Mirra, what would you say is Kayla's favorite school subject?
Well,
it's a tough one.
I'll say English.
You go in English. Elana, what are you saying is Kayla's favorite school subject?
Yeah, I'll say English also.
All right, Kayla, grand reveal. Let's see if these sisters know you. What is your favorite school subject? What did you write down?
It was math.
It
What?
was math. You know
No,
Interesting,
it
really?
wasn't.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked. Kayla, you threw them off the scent with that very touching story about literature and film, and also that how you said the Tale of Despero wasn't literary enough for you. They thought that
Well,
you were so devoted to your English studies, but you pulled a curveball and went with math.
it's math, but I will say because
Fourth
of
grade math.
sure, but because of you, Mr. Margulies, I actually learned how to write a 2-page essay in record time, and it turns out awesome every time. And I have my grades in grad school and college to show for it. So I'm proficient in English, but math is my favorite.
Math is your English is your proficient area, but math is your passion. I love it. You know what? That's great to hear. All right,
Passion, sure.
Kayla, we're on to question 2. All right, so
Okay.
we're going to go through all 3 questions with Kayla. So, and Elana, I'm going to ask you first. Elana, what is Kayla's dream vacation destination?
I think she wants to go somewhere in Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia. Do you want to be more specific, or you think she's going to go with South?
I'll be more specific. Maybe Japan or South Korea.
Okay, Japan or South Korea. We'll leave
Yeah.
both as options. She's leaving it to be a more open answer. Mirra, what do you think is Kayla's dream vacation destination?
Well, I was gonna say Japan before Elana said it.
You can double up on the answer. You can go with Japan, or you can go a different route.
It's okay. I believe you. I saw your face when I said it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's something else, then she's not being honest.
What?
Is that your answer, Mirra? Japan?
Well, it's not anymore, but I'm just gonna say Japan.
All right, Kayla, what's your dream vacation?
Okay, I'm gonna show the evidence because I
Well,
did.
don't show it yet because we don't want to see the third answer.
Well, I did scribble out Japan
That's
because
okay,
it
you'll
was
show us.
that, but the dream right now is New Zealand.
Okay. You know,
I've
Elana
never heard her
was
say that.
needed to go more south and more east
Yeah,
with her guess to New Zealand.
Okay.
Why New Zealand? That
a whole
sounds
other
cool.
a continent.
Yeah.
Well, there was a study abroad opportunity in college to student teach in New Zealand, and I never got to go
Oh wow.
because
And
of this thing called COVID.
but now you're hoping to visit there and
It's on the list. It's big on the list.
okay. All right, we have no matches so far. Hopefully there's a match on the third one. Third question.
If they don't get the third one, I'm gonna be
Third
upset.
question. If Kayla had an entirely different career, right? She's dabbled in a few things. So nursing's off the table, education's off the table, social work's off the table. Mirra, what is, in an alternate reality, what is Kayla's career path that she chose?
Ugh, I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Kayla seems very confident that you will get it.
We'll
So
get it.
otherwise, she
I
might
can
be
get
curious.
it.
Mirra's mulling
Maybe
it.
like a chef
A chef, okay. Maybe some food. Kayla's eyebrows.
or like a food critic. That
Okay,
was where I was
something,
gonna say
something, in the,
first.
something in the culinary arts, food of some, either making the food or criticizing the food. Elana, what are you going with? What is Kayla's?
I would say like fashion designer, maybe.
Kayla, my guess
Yeah.
was going to be Broadway musical star after we
Yeah.
shared about your prowess on the Joseph stage. All right, so we've got fashion designer or something in the food world. Kayla, what is your dream career in an
I
alternative?
said owning a bakery.
That's
Okay,
food
I'm
related.
Oh,
Specifically, I want to open a late night bagel shop that's open from like 6 p.m. to like 5 in the morning.
Okay, so it's not breakfast; it's like late night and early meal
Yes.
breakfast. Are
A
you gonna-
late night bakery, because
And then you know what? You hire Elana on your staff, and she'll bring the donuts because we learned that.
exactly.
What is your favorite thing to bake, Kayla?
My God.
Oh my God.
So actually, in our kitchen right now, I'm making some challah in preparation for Shabbat. And I forgot.
And just so people know, we're recording this on a Wednesday night, so she is really on top of her game.
Well, I'm going out of town tomorrow, so I'm bringing it with
Gotcha. Gotta
me.
do some pre-baking.
But I may have let it overproof in the bread maker. It looks like it's about to exit the bread maker. But I literally forgot it was right there.
Well, you know what? But you like baking challah. Do you want to show us the challah, or is it too
Sure.
too crazy
Um,
for us to see?
And then behind the computer is a sourdough starter.
Okay, amazing. Well,
I
Kayla's
mean,
getting
how am I
that.
gonna see the dough?
Oh,
So you know what, Mirra, I'm going to give you half a point for that. I'm going to give you half a point for saying food. You were in the right food path
I'll take
idea. And Elana, you said fashion design, but when you're baking, it's not fashion design, but there's a lot of design elements to baking.
It's okay. I can get 0 points for that.
I think
I'm not upset.
that's okay. All right, 0 points for Elana, but I think that challah, from the glimpse that I saw of it there, really was coming together pretty well. I think it has promise.
Invented that.
Do you think it can be salvaged, Kayla?
Oh, it's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be delicious. Okay. Kayla, are you like a cinnamon raisin challah type of person? A classic? We have sesame seeds on it. What's kind of your challah design that you go with?
All has got to be plain. That's my professional opinion.
And then when
I
you're eating it,
think-
are we eating it plain or with butter, with salt, with honey?
Well, on Shabbat we eat it plain, and then the next day we make challah French toast.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right, Mirra, you are on the spot now. So Kayla and Elana are going to guess their answers to yours. Kayla, if you want, Kayla, you can show us how your writing did indeed say Japan scribbled out.
I told you Japan was scribbled out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I would recognize this as your handwriting. And look at all these designs you did too. Even doodles.
Yeah, I do.
Did you do all these doodles during this recording of this episode?
I gotta keep my
Yes.
hands busy.
I am impressed. All right, Mirra, we're up to you. Kayla, no peeking at her paper. First
I'm not
question,
peeking.
and Elana, we'll start with you as the first guesser. What is Mira's favorite school subject?
Math.
Well, math. Okay, she learned from her mistake with answering Kayla. Although all that I've heard from Mirra regarding math is that math makes her occasionally throw up in a trash can. So we'll see if that changed her trajectory. Kayla, what are you going with? What is Mira's favorite school subject?
Well, she's taken science the most, but I don't know if she's enjoyed it a whole lot.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with science.
All right, we've got math and we've got science. Mirra, the answer is
Art.
art. Art.
But I will say I was gonna put math and I was deciding like, do I go the typical like,
No, you got to be yourself.
but I mean my most favorite thing was art.
Oh, I'm sure Mrs. Reichman's listening, and I'm sure she loves to hear it. Is there a particular like style of art, like you like drawing, painting, sculpting? Like, is there a particular medium of art that you especially enjoy doing?
I liked drawing, but I will say in college I took one art class and I painted our two dogs who are no longer alive they were alive at the time, but I painted them on
Molly and Lady?
Ruby and Lady.
Oh,
There's
Ruby.
a third one. We didn't mention her.
Gotcha. The dogs keep on coming. Do you still have
Yeah.
the painting?
I do. Should
Oh,
I-
take a picture and send it to me if you want.
Okay.
If you want to share it
Yeah.
here, I'd love to get that up on this screen. All right. So
I
over.
painted them on my shoes.
Oh my goodness.
Like on a pair of Converse.
On my Converse.
You painted them on your shoes?
Mhm.
Oh wow. Well, look at that tapestry you're weaving there. All right. Question 2. We'll see if they can right the ship here. Alana's still trying to get off the schneid and get her first question right here.
Oh yeah, I guess I haven't gotten any right yet. That's okay.
It's okay. You know what? You're the oldest. You know, you grew up too fast, and you didn't know their hobbies and their passions as you left them in the dust and you graduated.
No, it's okay. These are just hard questions.
These are hard questions. I agree. All right. Second question is dream vacation destination. All right, Kayla, I'm going to start with you. What is Mirra's dream vacation destination and where she'd like to go?
Ugh, I don't know.
Yeah, pick something good.
Okay, I'll pick something.
We're actually not very close.
Yeah, we're just roommates.
Yeah, they're just roommates. They don't know what's going on. They've never talked about this. All right, so Kayla, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go with Greece.
Ooh, that sounds great. All right, Elana, what are you
I don't
thinking?
know.
Ooh,
Take Japan for another spin.
no. Mira's not a big traveler.
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't-
maybe
But that's not the answer because I know that's not
That
what she
is
was
correct,
on.
though.
Um, uh, she likes cold weather actually a lot. So I would say maybe she'd like to go to Alaska.
Or how about Almost Maine, the fictional town? All right, so we've got Alaska.
Wait, I'm gonna change my answer.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll allow that.
Iceland.
Okay. So, Mirra, what's the answer?
It was Iceland.
Yes, I knew it.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to give Elana the assist there. The cold triggered Kayla's memory. It was a team effort. Mirra, why Iceland?
Okay. I was watching YouTube one day and this family was going on a trip in Iceland, and I think it was a cruise, and they like got off at different points, and it just looked so cool. And yeah, I love cold weather, and now it's just kind of my go-to if someone would ask me that question, that I have something to answer. I don't know. I haven't like researched it at all. I just like I just like have something, but it does look like a cool place.
All right, well, we're still looking for our first rock solid correct answer right off the bat. I mean, Kayla got that one. She did have to change her answer. And then Mirra got kind of the half food question for Kayla. So I think we're going to nail it here. Mirra's third and final question. In the alternative universe, what would her dream career be if anything is on the table? Elana's nodding very confidently. But Kayla, we're going to start with you. What do you think is Mirra's dream career here?
Your dream career?
Yeah.
I feel like Mirra would open like a dog sanctuary or something.
Oh, a dog.
Be a veterinarian, maybe.
Okay,
If
but
she
something
could
with
do all
dogs.
this
She's
stuff.
working with dogs. Yeah?
Yeah.
We've heard a lot about dogs on this podcast.
Yeah.
Elana, what are you going with?
I was gonna say veterinarian. That's what she wanted to be when she was really little.
Okay. Mirra?
Get it?
What's
You
the answer?
got it. But it's funny because as I was writing,
And let's see that crazy small handwriting now so people can see.
well, I kind of wrote like weirdly, but as I was writing, my brain like went to something else. So instead of writing vet, I accidentally wrote dog.
Kayla nailed it. Oh, yeah. Look how small.
Oh wow, that's
It's
really
so neat.
small.
That's amazing. Just dog. Your career is
I have my graph paper.
is just being
And
a
then
dog.
I said / no work.
Dog / just chilling. Amazing.
So the no school was right. If you didn't have to go to school.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mirra, do you have a favorite dog breed, or is that just too hard to choose?
Well, now that I have a golden retriever,
Oh, we got a guest appearance. From
Yeah.
Polly Goldenberg.
she was here right at the beginning, but we'll bring her back.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Poppy, yes. Excellent. What breed is she?
She's a golden retriever. She's just red.
Oh my goodness. This is a very friendly face.
Yes.
And they match.
Oh my god. She's just staring at the camera. I hope that the camera pans to her so that I should stop talking to make sure that she's talking. Poppy, say something. Say hello.
Puppy.
Puppy, tell them how old you are. No, she's very
She's-
shy.
How old is she?
She's 6 years old, and that when you mentioned college, Kayla was nudging me to say, "Oh,
Oh.
she's trying to talk." I got her my senior year of college at a shelter, and she's just the most perfect dog.
Yes.
That looks like a perfect dog. I'm going to give that dog a 10 out of 10. No notes.
know.
All right, Elana, we are on to you to wrap up this game and wrap up our episode. All right, Mirra, we're going to start with you as the first guesser here. What is Elana's favorite subject? She's a Renaissance woman of sorts with so many interests. So what is it going to be? Yeah.
Honestly, we didn't really our time didn't overlap in the same way as her and Kayla,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna go with math.
She's going with math. Poppy, what do you think? All right, Poppy has no answer. Poppy pleads the fifth. Kayla, what are you going with?
I'm gonna say, oh hi. Maybe English or like journalism because Elana was the editor of Rampage Wired.
Oh, little.
As was I.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know how to answer this. I know Elana loves math and science. I know you also really like English, and you talked about, kind of your college studies that you really enjoyed, in journalism. Elana, lay it on us. What's the answer?
I picked Jewish studies. I was actually not sure,
What
but
a nerd.
when I think back, no, when I think back to HHA, I think my favorite, the classes that were most fun, where we could be most curious, all the questions that we wanted. And the class was like the least, it was structured in a different way, were all my Jewish studies classes. Um, so I think those were really fun. So I enjoyed
Awesome. What
those.
is it that you liked so much about them? Like, what you said, it was structured differently. Like, what about the structure did you really like?
I just liked it was so inviting to questions, and not that our other classes weren't, because they certainly were. Um, but we asked a lot of like philosophical questions in those classes. I'm thinking specifically of like Rabbi Sossover's classes and Miss Cachlon's classes. And we could kind of let the class take shape more in the way of our curiosities than maybe some of the other classes where there is like a really specific curriculum we had to get through or an AP test that we had to make sure we were prepared for. And then senior year, I got to do like a Chavruta Jewish studies class with Adina and Rabbi Avi, and we just really truly got to take our curiosities and build a class out of it, and so that was really fun. So
Awesome.
anyway, I'd say Jewish studies was always really fun, and I never felt stressed going into Jewish studies.
Great. What did you guys in that Chavruta class? Chavruta, for people who don't know, is just like it's like a study partner for studying a Jewish text. What did you guys focus on in that class?
We did one of the Megillas. I'm blanking on this.
Um,
So
Tani,
what?
Tani.
Ani? Was that what?
All three of us did the same one.
Yeah, we all did the same one. I don't remember, but we
Tani
would
would be
try
like would be fasts. Like, was it like
Yeah.
studying fasts?
No, there was something, this thing that I remember in it, there was something about a
It's
pickled
called
pepper.
Tractate Megillah.
Oh, Tractate Megillah. That's what it was. Thank you.
There we go.
There was something about like a pickled pumpkin in it. There was always a lot of
No,
like
you don't want to be a pile of cold pumpkins. You want to be a hot pepper.
right. There was just always a lot of like literary analysis, and it was just really, I really enjoyed getting to do independent study. It was just fun getting to explore what we were excited about and getting to work one-on-one or two-on-one with someone like that.
That is fantastic. And you know what? You mentioned Rabbi Sossover. If people want to hear more from him, you can check out episode 5 of HBHA Lore.
Yeah, I just listened to it the other day. It was so fun. The story about I didn't know it was an iPod Nano, so that was my class.
Oh yeah, Elana
And-
is in Sam Matzel's.
I was in the room when it happened. It wasn't me. I wasn't the one who was on my computer.
That's amazing. I love
but-
how. Yeah, go ahead.
Now I remember exactly where I was sitting though. I sat at the desk that was kind of close to his desk, not the one that he'd sit at and teach from, but the one that he like where he sat when he wasn't teaching. So it's just like, HHA memory. But yes, I was there in the room where it happened.
Amazing.
And every time I hear that story, I just
What's great is Sam Matzel was the very first guest I had on this podcast, and he told this story. So that's episode 1 if you want to hear from him. And this is a story that's now continuing over many, many episodes. It's like the piece that weaves all of HBHA Lore together is this anecdote of philosopher catching students on their computer doing what they're not supposed to do. Incredible. All right, moving on to question 2. So everyone whiffed on that question. We covered basically every subject between all of our guesses and your actual answer. Question 2, Elana's dream vacation destination. Kayla, where do you think she's going?
Elana also doesn't travel a lot, but oh, I got it. Oh, you have it.
Oh.
Maybe like somewhere European.
All right, so Kayla's just taking all of Europe, like one.
No. I'll give an exact. I'm gonna say London.
London,
Maybe.
sure. She loves literary analysis and lots of great writing done in London. You can visit Shakespeare Globe Theater. Mirra, what are you thinking? You seem very confident. Where's Elana going?
No, not at all. But I really, I don't know like a dream place, but I'm just gonna go safe with a place that I know she liked, and that is DC.
Okay. You're saying she's been there.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're saying Elana just discarded my rules that I laid out for the
Oh, it has to be
when I said
somewhere
no,
she
you haven't
hasn't
been.
been.
That's fine.
Oh, is that what you said?
That's what I said. But you know what?
Oops.
Also,
Oh,
one
that
of them
wasn't.
guessed that you were
I
going.
didn't list somewhere I've been.
Okay, she went.
Somewhere new.
She went
Okay,
somewhere
somewhere
else.
new.
So yeah, go off
Okay.
the grid.
Well, I'm gonna say somewhere with a beach.
Okay.
So maybe
Famous London beach.
Hawaii? Oh,
Hawaii. Okay, Elana, where are you going?
I said I'm not a big traveler, but I would go to Spain.
Okay, you know what?
man.
Kayla gets half a point because London and Spain not that far away from each other, and she did initially say she doesn't want to go anywhere. She just wants to stay at home with her
Yeah.
medals.
Yeah.
With her 12 letters. Varsity sports. All right, so kind of half point there. All right, last question here. Last question of the game.
Okay.
If Elana is in a different career field, what's she doing? Mirra, we're starting with you.
No. I don't.
Track star, not stopping for rain or snow, just sprinting up hills.
Maybe a comedian.
Like a stand-up comedian?
Yeah.
I would
Because
love.
I feel like I remember hearing her talk about wanting to do that somewhat recently.
That's amazing.
Maybe it
And you
was
know what?
just
I
a
find Alana
joke.
very funny. I think you guys are all very funny. I would love to hear Alana do some stand-up sometime. Maybe Alana, maybe you'll wrap up this episode with Type 5, which is when people just do 5 minutes of stand-up comedy. Kayla, what are you going with? What's Alana's dream alternative career path when she's not studying the brain?
I'm gonna say Elana would own a bookstore.
Oh, that's you answered for me. That's my dream career path. In an alternative reality where I'm not teaching, I would own my own bookstore. That's not false. That's actually what I would.
It would be like a bookstore with like a cafe, like the old Barnes and Nobles.
And you can be the baker for it.
Exactly.
And Mirra, you can have it be dog friendly. And
Yeah,
Alana, how you fit into this.
that sounds
Alana,
great.
what's your dream career? Are you going?
So I actually said I wrote down both. I said chef or stand-up comedian.
No way!
You got it.
Alana, I got it. Oh my goodness, Alana's holding it up. Alana, say something so it cuts to you in the camera. What are you?
It's cutting to me.
Chef
Okay.
or stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
get
it's
like a
backwards.
full
So you
real
can't see
Oh
it.
my God, Mirra got the 1 point of the game.
Yeah, Mirra got it right at the end. Elana, I gotta ask, where does this dream of being a comedian stem from? Have you ever dabbled in it? Have you ever tried?
No. I just like to make people smile and make people laugh, and I like to make jokes. And I just think they make everything better. And I like to watch a lot of stand-up comedy. Like I love stand-up comedy specials. I love listening to them.
Yeah, like that John Mulaney story that you almost told before.
Yeah, exactly. And I sometimes I watch those and I think, well, I could do that, except I don't want to be famous. Like I don't want people to know who I am. I don't need to be out there on the internet.
And you're
That
not.
makes
We
me-
know you're not hitting the road to travel. You want to stay.
right. Like that makes me uncomfortable. But I guess this is gonna be on the internet, but this is different. This is a different kind of famous. But
She's a niche gal.
Remember, Alana,
Wait.
I'm not airing any of
Yeah.
this. It's just going to be Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. People are
right, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot about that. Perfect. Then we're all set. But anyway, I just really
Except that she
like
was in that, so she will be famous
Yeah,
from that.
true.
like
Yeah.
I love making people happy. And I tell self-deprecating jokes, which I think are, I mean, any stand-up special you watch, the story like the day that Molly died and me and Kayla had different experiences at school. Like those are the kinds of stories you hear in a stand-up special. Like tell me you don't hear that on a stand-up special.
No, I think that would have been right at home. It was a little dark humor. It was a little not where we were expecting that story to go, but I think you guys landed the plane with it, so to speak. Much like you landed on the beaches of Spain.
Yeah.
Okay. I think collectively, I wasn't tabulating the scores. I'm going to say the three of you got about 2.5 total points there, which is pretty good. You mentioned chef. Is there anything in particular that you like cooking, like a favorite type of meal or cuisine that you like?
You want to tell them who your favorite food personality is?
Oh, well, I have a lot that I like, but I like
Favorite.
Alice. What?
Who
I like Allison Roman. I like Samin Nosrat.
What do
Those
they
are probably my two favorite, but I mean anything and everything tonight. Just tonight I made for me and my dad this like lentil vegetable stew. I didn't use a recipe or anything. I just kind of like cooked and measured with my heart. I looked at what vegetables we already had in the fridge and got like a couple other small things that we didn't have, like lentils and vegetable broth. But it was really delicious.
That sounds
Uh,
delicious and very biblical, right? That's
yeah.
very,
Okay. What's
very
so
selling your
funny?
birthright.
No, literally a couple
Is it
weeks
not
the
the
birthright
Parsha?
Parsha. No, it's not for a couple weeks. Me and my dad talked about it because every year around that Parsha, he'll make lentil stew and he'll send us all a picture.
See, there's your Jewish studies
We,
coming up even when you're
I think
cooking.
one of the biggest takeaways, if nothing else, I'll give you a wholesome thing about our family is at HBHA, there's a lot of Jewish practice and Jewish values and Jewish culture that goes on at school. And a lot of that also has to come from the home. Reinforcing those things at home and celebrating them in your own way, because every family at HBHA is going to practice Judaism a little bit different. And in our family, we practice a lot of Judaism at home. And, we've got things like celebrating Shabbat and celebrating holidays and all that. But we also have the little things here and there, like pointing out, like, oh, like you made soup. Like it's not told out yet, though. Haha. Like,
Hilarious.
like, getting like Shabbat blessings every week from our dad and having Shabbat dinner with our cousins. Just like a lot of those things are very, very special, I would say.
That's amazing. I mean, that's honestly like that's a pretty perfect way to wrap up our episode here with you talking about, I think really beautifully said there, Elana, about kind of how as a whole family, you guys have taken your time and experiences at HBHA and the combination of your time in school and your family time out of school has kind of all been woven together. And that's awesome that you've taken things that you learned at HBHA and have kind of weaved that into your own Jewish practice and how you guys celebrate, like you said, Shabbat and holidays and do things as a whole family. So I think that's a perfect place for us to wrap up. Guys, this has been an absolute delight for the many classmates that you guys have had, people either in your 3 grades or a little bit older than you or a little bit younger than you. I'm sure they'll love hearing this. Current students who did not get the joy of being at HBHA with you guys, they'll hopefully enjoy hearing from you guys. And I know the many, many teachers you've had over the years. You highlighted a lot of them. We talked about Mr. Ballman, Deborah Lerner, Michal Kachlon, Rabbi Sossover, Miss Reagan, me. I got a surprising amount of play on this episode, which was always nice to hear. You guys shared some amazing stories, both about your time at HBHA and all the cool things you guys have done since. So this has been such a joy for me to get a chance to catch up with all 3 of you. And I know people are going to love listening to it as well. So thank you guys so much, Kayla, Elana, and Mirra, for joining me today on HBHA Lore. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.